संवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते भक्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we'll be looking at Canto 4, Chapter 14, Text 33, the story of King Veena. We'll recite the verse first. Please repeat after me. Kovainam parichakshita.
Kovainam parikshitita.
Kovainam parichakshita.
Kovainam parikshitita.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Yad anugraha bhajana.
Yad anugraha bhajana.
Yad anugraha bhajana.
Yad anugraha bhajana.
Kovainam parichakshita.
Kovainam parikshitita.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Venam ekam rite shubham.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Prapta idrisham aishwaryam.
Yad anugraha bhajana.
Yad anugraha bhajana. Ko Vainam Parikshitam
Kovainam Parichakshita
Venam Ekamrite Subham
Venam Ekam Rite Shubham
Prapta Idrisham Aishwaryam
Prapta Idrisham Aishwaryam
Yat Anugraha Bhajanaha
Yad Anugraha Bhajana Kovainam Parichakshita Venam Ekam Rite Shubham
Prapta Idrisham Aishwaryam
Prapta Idrisham Aishwaryam
Yad Anugraha Bhajana
Yad Anugraha Bhajana. Okay, everyone repeat after me. Ka,
Kaha
Hu, Va,
Va
indeed,
Indeed
Enam,
Enam
the Lord,
the Lord
Parichakshita,
Parikshaktiram
would blaspheme.
would blaspheme
Venam,
Venam
King Vina,
King Vina
Ekam,
Ekam
alone, Rite,
Rite
but for,
Vatpo
Ashubham,
Asubham
inauspicious,
Inauspicious
Praptaha,
Prapta
having obtained,
having obtained
Idrisham,
Idrisham
like this,
like this
Aishwaryam,
Aishwaryam
opulence,
opulence
Yat,
Yat
whose,
whose
Anugraha,
Anugraha
mercy,
mercy
Bhajanaha,
Bhajanaha receiving
translation and peppered by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So translation. But for King Vina, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. Please repeat. But for King Vina, who is simply inauspicious,
who is simply inauspicious,
who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. Put. When human society individually or collectively becomes godless and blasphemes the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is certainly destined for ruination. Such civilization invites all kinds of bad fortune due to not appreciating the mercy of the Lord. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Abstaya Vishnu Krishna Goswami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Abstaya Vishnu Bhaktivedanta Swami Namo. So once again, translation is but for King Vina, who is simply inauspicious, who would blaspheme the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose mercy one is awarded all kinds of fortune and opulence. So, this story of King Vina is going on for quite some time, and I think, yeah, this is the last chapter about King Vina. Yeah, and King Vina, as you might have come to know by now, he's just one of those Ravanas and Hiranyakaships. And he has been creating, since he was there on this planet, creating havoc, terrorizing and doing all sorts of, inauspicious things. He even blasphemed all the great sages, once you blaspheme great sages, that means you are blaspheming the Supreme Personality of Godhead as well, all the devatas too. And he was doing that. He was instructing, I know last Saturday I read that he was even telling the sages, the great sages, the sadhus, that you shouldn't be worshipping and doing yagna, worshipping the demigods and those Supreme Personality of Godhead. You don't have any knowledge. You don't understand. So he was blaspheming those great sages who were advising him to do the right thing. So he advised them to worship him. He's most powerful because he was ruling this planet, almost the 3 planetary systems. This planet Earth and upper planetary and the lower planetary system. And everyone was scared of him, that even the devatas were scared of him. He was so powerful. So when people become that powerful, then they think they are the controllers. Even currently, when people have, a lot of powers anywhere, in any organization, those who are not, those who are, saintly people, like those who are devotees, they won't think like that, but others, they become puffed up and they want to control who are under them. So in this class, I will discuss the current situation of the world, and it's talking about Anugraha, Lord's mercy. I'll discuss on that too, how to get mercy of the Lord. And also, this is very important here, is inauspicious things, unfortunate things that may happen to us, to anyone, or to the world. We'll touch on these things too. So Prabhupada says in his purport that when human society individually and collectively becomes godless, atheists, and they tend to blaspheme the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what will be the result? It is certainly destined to ruination. There will be devastation in people's lives, on planet Earth, even other planetary systems. All kinds of misfortune will happen. So this is actually happening currently, and it happened in those times too, when these atheistic rulers were ruling the planet. All right, so Ravana is very famous. We all know about him because we have been, hearing and reciting Ramayana. As for me, from my childhood, I was taken to these kathas sanghas where Ramayana katha was happening. So we know about Ravana, and he terrorized the sages, the brahmanas, and the devotees of the Lord. And even he challenged the Supreme Personality of God himself, Lord Ramchandra. And as you know, he kidnapped Mother Sita. Actually, it was the illusory Mother Sita, not the actual Mother Sita. No one can touch her. So what happened as a result? He lost everything. He lost his life, his opulence, his Sone ki Lanka kehte hain na? Lanka, gold. Everything. His palace was made of gold. And it was all destroyed. And his own kinsmen, the Rakshasas, his own sons and family members were all gone. So ultimate disaster. He tried to be the ruler of this planet and also terrorized the devatas too were under him. He could control them. He was so powerful. How did he get this power? That's another question. Ravan. Yeah, through tapasya. He did a lot of tapasya. And then he actually did not worship the Supreme Personality of God. And whom did he worship? Ravan,
Lord
Shiva.
Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Yeah. Ravan worshiped Lord Shiva. He was. And Lord Shiva awarded him whatever he wanted. But ultimately, Lord Ramchandra destroyed him. Okay, so this is what happens when the rulers become atheistic. The kings become atheistic. This is what happens. And the other examples are Duryodhan. Dhritarashtra, his father was Dhritarashtra, but everything was done by Duryodhan, the son. He hated the Pandavas and tried to, kill them with so many plans he made, but he wasn't successful because Krishna protected his devotees. And they had a mission, big mission ahead of them. Every time that he failed to kill the Pandavas. And then ultimately, during the Mahabharata war, the whole of the Kauravas, those who were on the side of even the Pandavas side kings were all. The Kauravas and the Pandavas, they all were destroyed in the Mahabharata war. It was one of the largest wars in history. And after that, there's another example is Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu, he did the same thing, but Hiranyakashipu challenged his little 5-year-old boy, his son, who was worshipping Lord Vishnu. And as you know, who was that little devotee? Prahlad. He was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and he challenged him. He could not, he tried to kill him too, his own son, and told him and his citizens, worship me because I am the controller. I am the controller, he said. I am the Lord. But because of fear, people were doing so. And even he killed the sages and the brahmanas, stopped all the yagnas. So same thing was repeated. But what happened after that? All these atheist rulers were destroyed by the Lord. In what form Lord Krishna came to destroy him? Narsinghadev. Yes. He came as Narsinghadev to nullify all the boons he had, and he was able to, not able to, kill him and saved his devotee Prahlad and re-established the principles of religion again. Prahlad ruled the world later on. So these are some of the examples of kings and rulers in the history. And Veena was one of them too. I call him Veena. What is the right pronunciation?
Vena.
Vena. Vena. Yeah. So Vena. Let's go to the current political situation, current situation of this world. Similar thing is happening.
Yes.
Yes. Give some examples.
Russia, Ukraine.
Russia.
Leader.
Russia, and that's a communist country, atheistic country. You know, of course they are devotees now,
China.
but majority of them are still, I think, atheists, and even the leaders. If they are devotees, they won't do this. They have some kind of motive we don't understand. I don't have a clue why he's trying his best to destroy Ukraine. I don't know why. Anyway, so that's happening. And last time I discussed about China too. So many things are happening, but they are all hidden. They are not, you know, publicized. Like anything happens in India, it's on the YouTube. Because it's a democratic country and the journalists have the rights and they do it. But in China, they control everything. Every movement you make, they know where you're going, what you are doing. Every citizen of China. They are controlled because of the technology they have. So they can't do anything. They're trying their best, but so see what's happening. And besides that, because irreligious activities are promoted by the government too, in some ways. That's why the whole world is doing that. The governments of the whole world, the rulers. For example, we'll go to the basics. For example, this Sanatan Dharma, the one we are following, is upheld by the 4 pillars. Like these 2 are the pillars here. We have, but there are other hidden pillars in this temple. We can't see. You can see them, part of them all around. They hold the structure right above. Similarly, Sanatan Dharma has 4 pillars, you know. And those four pillars are, first one is mercy. Daya. And then next one,
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness, which is Satyata, yes. Austerity in Hindi is Tapasya. And the last one, purity. Cleanliness of heart and body, whatever. So these are the 4 pillars of Sanatan Dharma on which this Sanatan Dharma stands or is upheld. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, when Kali Yuga started, when Lord Krishna was finishing his pastimes and living, and then Kali Yuga arrived. So what did he do? He destroyed 3 pillars. And only one is still there. And which one is there?
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness is still here. But you can say that how many honest people are in this world? How come truthfulness is still around? The others are all destroyed, like the Dharma was the bull, you know, and then Kali Yuga in his personification form, he broke the 3 limbs of the bull, the Dharma. That means he destroyed mercy, he destroyed purity, he destroyed austerity, you know. And only one was left. By that time, Parikshit Maharaj arrived and saved the bull. So what happened after that? So how can we say that truthfulness is still around? Of course, they are honest people. I heard in one lecture, this issue came. Gurudev's lecture, I was hearing yesterday, I think. And one of the Gurudev asked the devotees in the audience, how is truthfulness still around? So one of the devotees, yeah, there were answers given, but I could not hear. So one of them said that because the scriptures are around, still existing, that means truthfulness is still around. Because the scriptures are still existing. That's why truthfulness is around. And that's what we follow. Okay, so that's the answer for that. Okay. So these four principles is mandatory. Prabhupada made it mandatory for us. Those who want to become devotees of Krishna in this movement, they have to follow the four regulative principles. These principles are there, which upholds these four pillars of Sanatana Dharma. Okay. For example, it says no meat eating and all that. So what does it uphold?
Mercy.
Mercy, yes. Those people who are merciless, they kill. And they kill, as you know, there are slaughterhouses, which is done. The government encourages that too. So many millions of, poor, innocent animals are being killed in the slaughterhouses. It's horrifying. It's horrifying the way they are killed. Even the baby animals, the calves. So those who are doing this, they are merciless people. And those who are encouraging this to be done, they also don't understand. So this is being done. So suffering will be there. The results will be there. Everyone has to suffer that. The other one is no gambling. All right. And what does it destroy?
Austerity.
Gambling.
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness, yeah. Honesty, truthfulness. So everywhere in every part of the world you'll find this gambling is
Casinos.
allowed. Casinos are there, and then these lotos are there. Although they say it's for a good cause, like lotos are for good cause, they give the donations to the charitable organizations, orphanages and these. So many there social organizations, needy people. But reactions will definitely be there. Reactions will definitely be there. So this is being encouraged again by the governments of the world. And then no intoxication, and it destroys, as you said,
Cleanliness, purity.
austerity. You can't do tapasya if you take alcohol and all that. Okay. You can't wake up early in the morning to drink, in the night, and you think you'll get up in the morning. Now you'll sleep till 11 or 12, midday. And when you wake up, what happens to you? So intoxication destroys austerity. And the last one is this illicit connection with the opposite sex. It destroys our purity. Destroys our purity. Shuddhata, yeah. So that's why Prabhupada emphasized on this, and he's made this mandatory that we should try our best to follow these four regulative principles if you want to make progress in our life, and which is not easy to follow. We have been doing this for so many lifetimes. And then if you start, when you come to Krishna consciousness, then we are given this and we try our best. Of course, many people have fallen down. But they kept on coming and practicing. And then, of course, by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, and if with your sincerity, when you try your best, definitely you'll get blessings, mercy of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. hours. You'll be able to do it. So these four principles that we have to follow is related to the four pillars of Sanatana Dharma. Once we break this, then we are not following Sanatana Dharma, and we'll be, in big trouble. So we'll move on to the Lord's mercy. We have just discussed the political situation of the whole world. And there's nothing, of course, there's lots of progress in material life, but no progress within the people's heart and mind. They are all, in anxiety, a lot of anxiety, stress, and depression, and diseases. What progress have we made in relation to that? Our health? Very little. We are going downwards. Actually, we're going downwards. When we talk about the welfare, well-being of the humans, we're not making progress. Although there are so many, medical improvements there to help. It's just for the body, but nothing for the soul. Okay, mercy, Lord's mercy. We'll talk about that. How will we get Lord's mercy in abundance? We'll receive the Lord's mercy in abundance, Lord of Lord's mercy. How can we get that?
Serving pure devotees.
By serving pure devotees.
Doing our sadhana.
Our sadhana well. Devotees, prasna. And then what else? Lord's mercy. By serving the Lord.
Yep.
Of course, by serving devotees, you are indirectly serving the Lord. The Lord is more pleased when you serve his devotees. Good point. All right. So, and serving the Lord. Directly, like those who go on the altar and serve the Lord. That's direct serving the Lord and offering bhoga and all those things. There's so many things done. So these are the way we can serve the Lord. So the main thing is to please the Lord by our loving devotional service. And how can we please the Lord? As you have mentioned so many ways. Why should we please the Lord? Why should we serve him?
Because by serving him only then we can be happy and peaceful.
Very good. Yeah, that's our constitutional position. Yeah. If you don't serve the Lord, you will serve the opposite one, the Maya. They call it Maya. You'll serve Maya. And there's lots there to be served. Oh, of course, we are serving all the time. You know this. We serve all the time. We serve our family members, our children. We serve the public. We serve. Everyone is serving someone. And when there is no one to serve, then they serve dogs and cats. Yes. They serve dogs and cats. Yeah. So our constitutional position is to serve, as you know, Jivera Swarupa Krishna and Nityada. So we should be serving, actually, we should serve the Supreme Lord and his devotees. By serving them, we'll be very happy. Okay, so that's how we receive the Lord's mercy. And Lord Krishna is very, very, very merciful. And we pray in our normal prayers, standard prayers, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastute. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Karuna Sindhu. Karuna means mercy. And Sindhu means ocean. Sindhu means ocean. So Krishna, or his source of mercy, his source of everything, as you said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. His source of everything. So mercy comes from Krishna. And we also pray, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he is most merciful, even more merciful than Lord Shri Krishna when he came here. Okay? And we pray, Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne God Tushe Namaha. And the translation is, O most munificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani, and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. So he is most munificent incarnation of Krishna. Well, he is Krishna himself. The word munificent means generous, most generous, gives Krishna Prem freely to everyone. To everyone. Is another word can be synonym, could be magnanimous. It's most magnanimous, most generous, most bountiful, most liberal, freely distributes Krishna Prem. Doesn't look at whoever is qualified or not. It doesn't look at that. It just distributes. And this is what is happening now in our movement. It has been happening. When Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here, he was distributing to everybody. When he was traveling all over India, meeting anyone, whoever saw him, they all became devotees. He was God himself. But when Krishna was here, no, everyone didn't become devotee when they saw Krishna. Even they didn't know he was Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they didn't become, only Brajvasis were pure devotees. Anyway, but when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled and he started this Sankirtana movement, he traveled and people met, even the animals were chanting in Jharkhand. You have heard the katha, and Jagai and Madai became devotees. He was very merciful, so he didn't look at who is qualified. He gave this Krishna Prem to everybody. And his lineage now, Srila Prabhupada did the same thing. Our Guru Maharaj was saying, don't just go and preach to the Indians in Fiji. Go and preach to everybody. Everyone deserves this. And anyway, so this is the mercy of the Lord. He's very merciful. In Bhagavad Gita 121, in the purport 121. I'll see what is 121. Chapter 1, text 21. Okay. It's observing the arms. 121. Senior. Arjuna said, "Oh, infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms." And Prabhupada wrote in the purport, although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he engaged in the service of his friend. He was serving Arjuna now. He was, Arjuna commanded him or asked him, requested him, take me there. And he became a charioteer to drive his chariot. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, Prabhupada writes. And thus he is addressed here as infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna. And since he did not hesitate to do so, he is again addressed as infallible. Although he accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. He was still the supreme personality of Godhead, but he is so merciful. For his pure devotees, he can do anything for them. He will just come down and fulfill the desires of those pure devotees, help them out. That's Krishna, very merciful. And 264, I'll just read the translation. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So who deserves the mercy of the Lord? Here, Prabhupada, in the translation of 264 Bhagavad Gita, a person free from all attachment. First thing. Aversion. Aversion means strong dislike for, material sense gratification. Aversion. And able to control his or her senses. Those who are able to do that by following the regulative principles we shared a while ago, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So I'm still talking about mercy. Lord Krishna's causeless mercy can be bestowed upon conditioned souls through the medium of devotees, our spiritual masters, through the medium of prasadam. What else? Krishna's mercy comes upon us through the medium of Krishna's holy names, okay? And of course, through the medium of all these scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's mercy is bestowed upon us through these mediums. Okay, and finally, I'll discuss inauspicious, unfortunate things that happen. That because it has come in this verse, where does it say? King Vena, who is simply inauspicious. King Vena is inauspicious. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita 194 Adi Lila, there's a verse, Krishna Bhaktira Badhaka Yata Shubha Shubha Karma Seha Eka Jivera Ajnanatamo Dharma. Translation is, all kinds of activities, both auspicious and inauspicious, that are detrimental or harmful to the discharge of transcendental loving service to the Lord, to Lord Krishna, are actions of darkness of ignorance. I'll read that again. The translation of the verse that I read is, all kinds of activities, both auspicious and inauspicious, good and bad, that are detrimental to the discharge of transcendental loving service to Lord Krishna, are actions of the darkness of ignorance. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions that even auspicious activities that we do are detrimental to the discharge of transcendental or devotional service to Lord Krishna. And they are actions of darkness of ignorance. Now, we should be questioning why auspicious things are also not very helpful in our devotional service. Examples of auspicious activities.
Something like for material sense gratification, you do something auspicious.
Example.
Some yajna or something to elevate oneself and elevate the planet.
Good example.
That's
Good.
material auspicious
Hmm.
activity.
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
can hinder your
Hinder your devotional.
devotion. Like,
It can be in the mode of ignorance too. Good. Some examples are it relates to this good karma and bad karma, like the three kinds of karmas. One is V karma, means all these notorious activities, bad activities, bad karma. And there's karma. Karma also binds you. Vikarma binds you, karma binds you, but akarma does not bind you. Akarma is actually devotional service. Things that you do which is related to Krishna, serving Krishna or devotees, that's vikarma, akarma. And karma means good karma. For example, you have given. Some people worship the demigods. For what? They want children, they want good house, they want good wife, husband, or good education. They just want material things. So this will bind you again, although it's auspicious, something good, but it will bind you. And other big ones are just like building hospitals for the sick, giving donations, giving free food, not prasadam, I'm talking about free food, and the food contains everything that they eat. Although it's a bit of, what will happen? These are auspicious things, but they are detrimental to our devotional service for devotees. Yes, so that's how you can explain it. Okay, to conclude, I've discussed about King Veena and some examples of like him, how they became very auspicious to this planet, to the people they were ruling, and very auspicious to the devotees of the Lord. And then I talked about Lord's current political situation of this planet. At least we know, although there's a lot of progress made in the form of education, technology, and so on, but people within are suffering. Depression is there, anxiety is there, fear is there. Medical problems are coming, and so many different types of medical issues are there. So materially advancing, but when you relate it to your personal well-being, no. Look at the students now, what's happening to them. Look at the young people, what are they doing now? The parents, the people, no direction actually. No direction. They don't know what they are doing and where they're going to. This is atheistic, godless civilization. So we are very lucky. We are very, very, very fortunate to be under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At least we know what we are doing, and why we are doing, and where we are heading towards, isn't it? So we are very fortunate. Okay, so yeah, I'll stop here. Any comments, any questions? And yeah.
So you said the 4 pillars of Dharma were destroyed in the beginning of Kali Yuga, but now we can see it has been reestablished, or it's up to some stage.
When we say it's destroyed, it's not 100% destroyed, I think, because they were still there. Otherwise, why we are sitting here and what we are
So
doing.
there's some austerity.
Of course, yeah.
There is messy here.
Everything is here, and we can we can develop those things, and we are developing it.
Hmm.
You know, all those mercifulness, what else?
Fruitfulness,
Yeah, austerity,
Cleanliness.
cleanliness, and purity. They are there.
Hmm.
And in Krishna conscious movement, Prabhupada made this, very clear, because no one else did this in Sanatana Dharma. Whoever gurus were preaching, they never talked about the four regulative principles. None of them. And Prabhupada was so bold that he established this, and he made it mandatory for us to follow, because otherwise, how can we make progress when we are bound by these principles? Doing the opposite. So it's there, and as long as the scriptures are there and the devotees are there, and it is mentioned that it will go on for at least 10,000 years, and after that,
Finished.
so should we wait for 10,000 years? No. We should try our best to make this life the last.
What if we go to the heavenly planet and the 10,000 years will be gone?
Gone,
in this lifetime? So,
But again, it's cyclic, right? When Satyuga starts, Treta,
Yes.
but Krishna frame you don't get in every yuga. Prabhu.
Oh yeah, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does that
then
in every year.
You have to do so many tapasya if you are
And
thousands and
thank you. Any other points? Now, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please tolerate me again next Saturday, because they are no one is, they couldn't find people. They asked me, okay, I'm around, so I know.
In this Bhagavatam class.
Yeah, I do some lessons.
Prabhu was like that break down the sea and everything was nice.
Well,
Yes.
it's all